is we've opened up a debate. We've opened up something that should have happened, a debate that should have took place years and years ago. And what this will do is hopefully some positive actions will be implemented. One of the concerns I have is there's drivers, new drivers coming into the trade, and they're not given any health and safety training before they go out there. There is a seminar facilitated by the council when a driver is issued that, but is that seminar enough to put a driver on the streets of Birmingham, right, to go out there and carry passengers? I don't think that we need to educate, train our drivers to be streetwise. And my colleague from the union, the chair of the branch, Jamshed Khan, had led some very serious discussions this morning with union officials. The union, Unite the Union, is looking to support private hire drivers in a number of ways. We're working very closely with West Midlands Police. We're working very closely with the licensing authorities and the Learning and Skills Council, who from the government are investing millions and millions of taxpayers' money into the private hire and the taxi sector altogether, right, to train drivers. Now we have concerns how that training is going about, what that training is itself. So we're having discussions with the Learning and Skills Council how they implement the training across Birmingham.
Well, you've said that the health and safety issues, you talked about not having that training in place. But recently, NVQ, that's what the council has brought in for private hire drivers. As the role that you play within the private sector, how do they feel about the NVQs that are actually brought in into the private hire sector, and how are the drivers' feelings about going on such training?
First of all, I would just like to clarify something, Noorin. The council haven't actually brought in NVQ level 2 in road passenger transport as a compulsory. Drivers are being encouraged in Birmingham to go in there. Other local authorities in
should that be made compulsory though?
Other local authorities are making it compulsory. Should it be made compulsory or not? I honestly don't feel it should be made compulsory. I think I've said this before. One of the reasons is because our members are opposed to it, and the main reason that members are opposed to it is because a lot of them feel that they're not at the level 2 stage. Now, I come from a training provider's background, and you've got to take into context that some of the drivers may be at entry level 1, 2 or 3, and to put them on a level 2 course, it's just not possible. All right, so that's what's created the problems here. I think if we support drivers, right, give them some support at entry 3 level, at entry 2 level, at entry 1 level, build them up onto level 1 and level 2, right, we can get some, because personal development and lifelong learning is a vital asset for everybody. No matter how old you are, no matter what trade you're in, lifelong learning you should have the opportunity to it. So I don't think it should be made compulsory, but I think there needs to be some interventions brought in which support the personal development of drivers. I think there needs to be some progression for drivers. I think that is absolutely vital. You've got drivers in this trade for decades. Let's be honest, there's drivers out there who've been doing, and I'm not criticising the trade, I think it's a fantastic trade, but we need to support drivers to go into other things which possibly pay better and have where they can carry out a living which is less stressful. It is difficult, especially because of the current climate across the world with recession, but we need to support drivers because you're not just supporting drivers. You're going to understand 5,300 people in Birmingham. It makes up 5,300 households in Birmingham. Right, that makes up a significant part of the Muslim community here in Birmingham. And then you've got another, I think there's nearly 2,000 Hackney carriage drivers. And then you've got other people working in the trade. I think there's £3 billion invested in the UK economy by private hire drivers across the UK, which is a fairly significant amount.
You're watching Community Time on Noor TV. Today on the show I have Raja Waseem, Zaffar. You can also take part in today's program. If you're a taxi driver, any suggestions, any comments about the issues, so please do ring in. Our lines are open. This number is on your screen. Not only that, you can also email us on ct@thenoor.tv. That's ct@thenoor.tv. If we are unable to answer your questions today with the emails, I will forward it on to Waseem, and who will respond to your emails. Now, Waseem, you highlighted the issues of not having CCTV cameras, the cameras in the cars, and other safety issues that are in the private hire cars. Are there any other key issues faced by private hire drivers that you have actually come across?
I discussed the lack of cooperation from the police and the inconsistent approach. And with that, what we've done is, following this high-profile meeting a couple of Fridays ago, and then the public meeting, we sat down with representatives of West Midlands Police at the police headquarters in the West Midlands, and had a lengthy discussion with them on how West Midlands Police actually operate. And remarkably, West Midlands Police do not have a policy, a written policy on how to deal with the taxi sector, whether it's private hire or hackney carriage. So one of the things that our independent advisory group that's being set up will do is work in partnership with policy makers, professionals from the police, work with officers on the beat, get drivers and operators to link in and actually guide West Midlands Police to writing up this policy on how to deal with private hire. So in essence, you've got drivers working here in the West Midlands who will be advising the West Midlands Police on how to write the policy that will then work for them. So you can't expect anything better than that. It's a shame that they haven't got the policy, but they put their hands up and they've said, look, we've realised we've got a gap in our consultation, in our engagement, and we need to engage with the taxi sector, and we're doing this. We had a meeting on Tuesday evening this week, where we had drivers and operators from the private sector in Birmingham. What we'll be doing in the near future is contacting our hackney carriage, black cab colleagues here in Birmingham and private hire and hackney carriage colleagues across the West Midlands, where the West Midlands Police Force actually operates, and bringing other people on board. It's not a closed door. Obviously, we can't engage with thousands of drivers, but we're looking to get a fair few heads together, and hopefully after some lengthy discussions, we can guide West Midlands Police in putting in the system and implementing that system by putting in the protocols and the procedures that will support the private hire community. So we're getting somewhere. We've had, to be honest, last year we had our difficulties with the licensing committee here in Birmingham, but we've now got a much healthier relationship with them. We have monthly, or I think bi-monthly trade liaison meetings where we sit down with licensing officials from enforcement, the police enforcement officers, and the senior officers from licensing, and on a bi-monthly basis we discuss our concerns. But one of our biggest concerns at the moment that we are currently discussing, and we'll continue to discuss with licensing, is why are operators approached in the middle of the night for basic paperwork as if you're carrying out terrorist raids. This may seem a harsh statement for me, but it's fact that there's operators who get called upon at 3-4 o'clock in the morning by enforcement officers from the licensing department of Birmingham City Council to ask for the insurance documents of drivers and basic stuff. Why can't this action be carried out like any other normal procedure at 9 to 5 office hours? Is it because the enforcement officers like to earn a bit extra cash by working unsociable overtime in the middle of the night? So we've got our concerns about how licensing. We continue to work with them, but I sat in this very studio last year and criticised licensing. The chair of licensing was here, Councillor Osborne, but I can honestly say that we moved forward in a positive way. There's still gaps. I'm not saying it's absolutely perfect, but we are moving forward. I think that's important.
Now, the next question, I'm going to say this in party, so if you can please speak that, so that everybody within the private hire community can listen to it as well. Private hire community, किस तरीके नाल better organize हो सकनी?
चलो मैं तैयार तो ना सा अपनी ज़बान बोलने थे, लेकिन चलो हले कोशिश करते हैं. इत्थे 5300 ड्राइवर है, जिस समय अगर समझाया एक बहुत बड़ी तादाद है प्राइवेट हायर ड्राइवरां दी. मैं समझना कि इन्हां की इकट्ठे करना, इन्हां नी आवाज़ इकट्ठी करनी, यूनाइट करनी एक बहुत बड़ा असां वास्ते एक चैलेंज है, क्योंकि इतनी बड़ी कम्यूनिटी होने के बावजूद असां ने जेह्ड़े लोग जेह्ड़ा असां ने मीटिंगां करने काउंसिल लेने नाल पुलिस लेने नाल उत्थे रिप्रजेंटेशन जेह्ड़ी है ना उत्थे कमी है. मैं पिछले साल तो काफ़ी एक्टिव हाँ इस मसले. मेरी कोशिश है कि मैं समझना कि असां ने जेह्ड़े भरा बुजुर्ग इस कम्म में शामिल उन्हें की सपोर्ट की जाए. और असां तो अलावा एक और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है इत्थे बर्मिंघम विच, लेकिन मैं समझना कि जेह्ड़ा तावन असां की मिलना चाहिए सी ड्राइवरां दी तरफों ओह् नहीं मिलना पिया. असां ने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन काफ़ी कम करी रही है. मैं समझना कि तुसां असां नहीं क्या और कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जिहड़ी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन उसने भी शामिल होना चाहिए ना वै, ताकि तुसां दी जेह्ड़ी नुमाइंदगी है बेहतर तरीके नाल होई सकै. बेशक ओह् तुसां यूनाइट यूनियन की ज्वाइन करो, कुसै होर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की ज्वाइन करो, कुसै होर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की तुसां बनाओ, एह् तुसां दी मर्जी है. लेकिन तुसां किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की शामिल होवो,